What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be talking to you about how to carry your firearm in the appendix position and how to do it comfortably if you're a fluffier guy like myself. Check it out. All right, so I think there are three big factors to how to carry your firearm in the appendix position and do it comfortably. The first being your clothing, the second, your belt, and the third, the actual holster that you use to carry your firearm. So let's start off with the clothing. For me, I like to wear a kind of looser fitting shirt. For me, the button-up shirts seem to work well. They have a little bit of extra flow in the front of them, kind of keeps from printing with that firearm in the front. But the biggest thing for me is the pants that I'm wearing. Your pants, they don't necessarily have to be looser in the waist so much as they need to be looser in the legs. The reason being for that is when you have pants that don't have enough space in the legs, they tend to kind of hug in tighter on the crotch, like nut huggers. So what tends to happen then is that holster, when the fabric is pulling in on it, pushes the muzzle of that gun in towards your groin, and it makes that muzzle kind of grind into your skin, and it's super uncomfortable. Another problem is if you have the gun up too high and like out of your pants, if they don't fit correctly, it's going to hit your stomach, and your stomach's going to push it forward as well. And so then you have 2 points of contact just pushing that gun forward into your stomach and into your groin, which is super uncomfortable. So if you can find pants that are looser in the legs, not necessarily in the waist, but obviously that you want that to be comfortable as well, that's going to serve you the best in terms of being comfortable for long periods of time throughout the day. All right, and moving right along to the second thing, which is your belt. This is a Cobra buckle style belt here that has a woven nylon, I think it's nylon, over an actual kind of core of plastic in the middle. That makes it more rigid like this, so that the belt doesn't cave in on itself and tip over. So if you have a flimsier or weaker style belt, the problem that you run into is no matter how tight you cinch it up, it's still going to want to creep forward like this, or still going to want to slide down. And the most uncomfortable feeling for me is that if my gun is tipping forward and almost like it's going to fall out of my pants. Not something I like to feel. So if you can find yourself a good belt like this, if you just look for an EDC carry belt or a gun carry belt, there are various different options out there. I actually go back and forth between this and then a really thick leather belt that I have that I tend to like. I'm sitting a lot during the day with having a little bit of a stomach on me. Sometimes I like a little bit of flexibility with the leather belt as opposed to this carry style belt. Just gives me a little bit of wiggle room, but still holds it snug and keeps it supported enough that the gun's not tipping. And when I do stand up, move around, it's not feeling like it's gonna tip sideways or fall forward out of my pants. And moving into the third thing, which is the holster itself. One of the most important things, obviously, because it's carrying your firearm. So this is a Kydex holder by T-Rex Arms. It is called their Sidecar. I highly recommend that you look into Kydex holsters. In fact, I would say you must always get a Kydex holder if you are going to carry in the appendix position. Do not get a fabric holster to carry in the front of your pants. That is a recipe for disaster. So this particular one, firearm, extra mag over here, has the raptor claw, which helps to kind of snug that gun up against your body a little bit closer so it's not pushing out and printing against your shirt. This, as you can see, has various different positions that you can put the clips in, whether it's up or down. And what that does, and I'll show later, is sets the ride height of the firearm. So if it's up too high, like I said earlier, your stomach will want to push it out. And if it's down too low, it's going to obstruct your grip and it's going to push into your groin, and it's not going to be comfortable that way either. So you kind of have to find that happy middle of the road. Sometimes it does take some moving the clips back and forth, or up and down I should say, a little bit of tinkering, a little bit of finesse, but you can typically find that sweet spot where you can get a good purchase and it's still comfortable for long periods of time. All right, guys, let's get down to it here. So this is how the appendix rig looks on my person. I have my firearm here, my spare mag here like I went over with before, and as you can see, I have just enough room here above my belt and pant line and between the firearm to get a good purchase to actually draw the firearm. So you will have to move those clips up and down to find that happy spot for you. One thing I did want to mention with these Cobra style buckles, or any buckle for that matter, you can see I do have that in the middle. You are able to pull that over to the side. That is a technique that some folks use. That way you don't have the buckle binding up with the holster or with the clips. Depending on the holster that you have or the belt that you have, they may not work together in this setup. You may have to move your buckle over to one side or the other, and that way you just have the actual strap itself of the belt here in the front to put your holster onto. So again, this is what it looks like. As you can see, the gun is not hitting my stomach to where it's pushing forward like that. It's not down so low that it's uncomfortable and hitting me in the groin area. And you can see it still has flexibility and I can move it around. However, this belt is not tipping forward and it's keeping the holster straight up and down. That way when I go to pull my shirt over to conceal, everything looks tidy and it's not printing or pushing out or bulging or anything of that nature. Now, it's going to be next to impossible if you're carrying a compact or a full-size handgun. This is a pretty large gun. It's a little bit larger than the Glock 19. That is the P10c here. So there are instances where, yes, you might show the handle a little bit, but again, you're just going to have to finesse with different articles of clothing, finding things that work, that fit your body and your application. One thing I wanted to mention that I forgot earlier is I am wearing a tank top, as you can see underneath my shirt. I do this because I have added texture to the grip of my handgun. I have it stippled, and so that stippling actually irritates my skin when it's moving back and forth all day long. So I do wear an undershirt to kind of protect me from that, but there are inherent risks of having an undershirt or just added clothing or fabric itself, that whenever you go to reholster, you want to be very purposeful about getting that fabric out of the way so it does not get caught in your firearm going into the holster, which could cause a negligent discharge. So you want to watch out for that inherent risk. But outside of that, that's what it looks like when it's all set up, and it is comfortable with the right clothing, the right belt, the right holster, and the right positioning. All right, guys, that is the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for new videos that are coming out soon. Next week, I'm hoping to put out a video where I compare my Glock 19 that I've carried for years with the new CZ P10c that I showed you guys today. It has quickly ratcheted up the ranks to be my favorite handgun, and I am super, super excited to show you what this thing can do. So again, thank you so much, and have a great day.